Hey everyone, welcome into another week's edition of Mock the Mock. I'm Trevor Sikkema, and we have a special mock draft that we're going over this week. Jordan Reid released his latest mock draft over at the Draft Network, and I always love reading Jordan's mock draft because he's very plugged in. He knows what's going on around the league, but that doesn't mean that there aren't a couple of picks that we're going to point out that I disagree with, or really for this Mock the Mock, just feel like could have been different, might have been a little bit better. And we got to start with the Miami Dolphins for that one. He has them staying at number 3, picking LSU wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase, which objectively, good pick. I think Miami really needs a premier wide receiver. But if you're not doing a Deshaun Watson trade here in this mock draft, that's fine. I still think trading down for Miami is the best way to go. Maybe I'm just obsessed with figuring out what people can give Miami to move back, but especially with the Lions putting themselves in the quarterback conversation now. You've got Carolina, you've got the Detroit Lions, you've got the Denver Broncos, you've got so many teams that are right there, and that's not to mention the teams outside the top 10, San Francisco 49ers, New England Patriots, and then even getting closer to the 20s. So many teams need a quarterback, and with two good ones on the board for Miami at number 3, I think it's got to be a trade back option. You got a lot of good wide receivers you can pick from. It doesn't have to be Chase. Go get some extra draft capital and go get a wide receiver later. Speaking of different wide receiver picks, at number 6, Jordan has the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Alabama cornerback Patrick Surtain. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to switch it up. I would like to see this be a wide receiver, and I think this is the way that Philly has to go, whether it is Ja'Marr Chase or Jalen Waddle or potentially even Devontae Smith, maybe even a trade down. I think that this has got to be an offensive look here because the whole offseason over the last couple of months, it's been about rebuilding Carson Wentz. That is their plan moving forward. That's why they went out and hired Nick Sirianni as their head coach. The whole thing is that they're trying to reinvest into what Carson Wentz could be. Fix him, if you will. And the best way to do that, give him some offensive weapons. Offensive line could be in the conversation here if Penei Sewell falls. They really like Rashawn Slater, but I think it's got to be an offensive weapon for the Philadelphia Eagles. For this last one, I don't want to be too hard on Jordan because it is a tricky pick, but come on, Jordan, we're paying you the big bucks here over at TDN. We need you to make a better selection. I'm just kidding. Again, I'm not being too hard on him here. It's the Washington football team at number 19 overall. He has them taking linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who has been the victim, I feel like, of a lot of subjects here on Mock the Mock. And Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he's an exciting player, but here for Washington, and if it's not going to be a quarterback, if they're not getting desperate to go move up for a quarterback, maybe they get a veteran one, I guess. It's got to be offensive line, I think. Alex Leatherwood, Elijah Vera Tucker, Tevin Jenkins, Jalen Mayfield, all of these offensive tackles were still on the board when he had Owusu-Koramoah coming off to Washington. And I just think that for what Washington is trying to build there with Ron Rivera, it has to be an offensive tackle pick, if not a quarterback. That's the way you're going to build a foundation for this team moving forward. That's all for Mock the Mock this week, but as you guys know, there's a second part to this mock draft evaluation video series. It is Favorite Fits, and we are going to be releasing that later right here on TDN's YouTube channel.